Hey, greetings. I almost said it, greetings everyone. Greetings humans. So there was just this message that kind of came to my heart very sporadically, and I didn't exactly want to create a video about it. Usually, when I want to make more serious videos, I usually opt to make them a commentary video, so you can't see my face because I don't know. But screw it, I'm already recording this. I had something that came across my mind these past few days, and it was a question that made me ask myself, do I even love myself? I have admittedly spent a good chunk of this year. I don't exactly want to go into the details, forgive me, but I spent a good chunk of this year praising or almost feeling like a complete fan of somebody who's very near and dear to my heart. And I don't really see an issue with that, but there was a situation that happened a month or two ago, which I didn't exactly divulge the details of, but it really shook me to my core, and I had to reevaluate the way that I approach life and the way that I see myself, and it was nasty. It was extremely grotesque, the way that I approach things. Like I'm a very this year has been a very steadfast year for me in terms of trying to right my wrongs, and one of those ways is anytime I see an issue with myself, I'm not going, okay, let me push these emotions down, let me get rid of this, let me try and run away from these feelings. It's, is this actually an issue, and if it is, how can we fix it? And something that I notice is that I have very, what the hell is that? I have very low self-worth or self-image of myself. I'll tell you this story. Oh god, I always feel very awkward talking about like schooling stories from like my past, because I'm all like, it's not like, oh, listen, I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to go back to high school or middle school or whatever, or looking back at your past, but I know for me in life, I never want to get to a point where I'm looking at a certain time in my life and thinking to myself, I want to go back. If anything, I look back at those moments and I go, even though I can't really look at any point in my life and go, I want to go back, I think that was lovely. I guess it's different for other people. But I think I look back at those moments, I'm all like, there were times where it was lovely, there were times where I had fun, but I want to create more moments of fun. I want to have more memories today than I did in the past. I never want to go back to the past because I want to keep on elevating my future, or my present, if you will. So, I went to a very unorthodox school. It was a school that was, and forgive me, I'm expecting a call, so I might have to cut something. So I went to a school that had middle schoolers and high schoolers together in one building. So when I was in middle school, I was intermingling with a bunch of high schoolers. And there was this group of high school boys who, back when I was in middle school, would always antagonize me in the middle of the hallways. And they would always just see me and say, oh my gosh, look at Eve. Eve's so, like, fucking ugly. Eve is, yo, look at Eve. They would laugh in my face, and they would speak, like, they would always call me ugly. And, I mean, that was probably the start of a lot of insecurities of mine that came that manifested for my face visually. I don't have any photos of myself during that time, honestly, up until I started making videos on this channel. I never took photos of myself there. When I was making YouTube videos, I was very adamant on never showing my face. A lot of insecurities formed from that. And I was too young to really notice or understand how loserish it was to have a bunch of high schoolers almost practically on the knocking doors of adulthood shitting on a literal child. But I remember going through those years in middle school and being like absolutely appalled whenever I would look myself in the mirror. And it wasn't until high school where it wasn't boys anymore, high school boys making fun of my looks, making fun of my face. It was girls at this point, except it wasn't negative. It's almost like it's a story time, innit? It wasn't negative. It was, Eve's really cute. Eve's attractive. And high school was when I had all the confidence in the absolute world. You could not tell me an absolute thing, man. Listen, I remember I got into this argument with one of my close friends in high school, yeah. And she tried to get me with something and she was like, Eve, oh my gosh, Eve, shut up. This is why you're so ugly. Listen, I had the most guttural, vicious laugh in her face, just instinctively, and I just went, see, that's how I know you're just lying down. And listen, you know when you hit somebody with some absolute facts and they just concede their whole entire, listen, you could not tell me a thing in high school. You could not tell me a thing, mate. But it was fake. It wasn't real. My confidence, or my lack thereof, came from how people perceived me at the time. I've seen photos of myself in middle school. It wasn't like I was going through like awkward stages of puberty at that time. He said, I was a cute kid. He said, I was a cute kid. I looked practically the same in high school. Well, maybe not practically, but it wasn't much difference. But the way that I saw myself came from feeling ugly in middle school, because that's what other people told me, to feeling like an absolute beautiful goddess that I was in high school, because if that's what other people were giving me. And something happened a few months ago. Listen, I don't have the confidence that I had back in high school, and I probably never will again. But something happened a month or two ago that absolutely shattered me, to the point where whenever I would look myself in the mirror, I would legit start crying. The reason why it took so long to put out a video, I was gone for like 2 months. It was because I had a video that I had to edit. And it was a video of only my face. And I'm not even joking when I say I felt legit disgusted every time I opened up my editing software and I saw my face on that video. I would feel disgusted. I would cringe. There are multiple moments where every time I tried to edit that video, just the visualization of seeing my face made me start bawling. And it was because I just have had zero confidence in who I am as a person. All my confidence came from outside validation. And I was thinking to myself, this is so fucked. I am letting these outside forces dictate my value. And I'll tell you, I started a new diary. So I finished my old diary. Hold on, I'll be back. So this was my original diary. This is my original diary that I started. Absolutely angry. A lot of just not cringe, it's just a bunch of sad stuff. I wasn't the best mentally here. And then this was the most recent diary. I finished it maybe like a month ago. Oh my God, I love this diary. Just looking back at the stories that I have, there's a lot of growth in this diary. I love this diary so much. And then this recent one that I started, I just wrote, and it sounds cringy, but I don't care. I'm a cringy person, whatever. I've written a bunch of love notes to myself, talking about stuff that I feel confident about, stuff that I love about me. I'm not gonna tell you what I wrote, but I'll share like the headlines. One thing I really like are my eyes. Forgive me, I didn't like prepare for this video, so you might not see it. But I was all like, you know what? I really like the way my eyes are. Then I wrote a love poem about my mind. Then about my videos, which you're watching right now, and thank you. Oh, I almost kissed you. I'm sorry, do I have consent to kiss you? No? Okay. Anyways, so then I made a poem about my soul, a poem about how unique I am, and then just promises for the future to keep myself safe. And it has helped me so much because another thing is that I feel as though, especially on this internet stuff, man, I'm not on this. I can't be on this. One thing that I knew was that if I wanted to be my authentic self on this channel, I could not take external, I don't know what the correct word is. I could not take external comments. Like, I've said this a bunch, but I've never read comments on my videos. I've read it once and it gave me a fucking heart attack. The person who left the comment, it was absolutely lovely, but I couldn't. I knew from the way that my heart was beating, how sweaty I was, to just see one comment, I knew I couldn't do it anymore. But I realized that I am just an extremely malleable person. I realized that the things that I might say or might not say in a video is dictated by how I think people might perceive me. Oh, I might not enjoy a certain thing that other people enjoy. People might think I'm a bad person. Or I might say this one thing that I found out in this game or this movie, and people might be all like, oh, this person is weird. It's like, yeah, I might be. It's like, no, I know I'm not a bad person. He said those high school boys would say these terrible things about me. I'm just all like, who are you? You losers shitting on a literal child, mate. I don't even know how to respond to that. I remember there was this. No, maybe I shouldn't tell this story. But actually I will, but it doesn't really pertain to anything. But I remember back when I was 19, yeah, this was before I started back doing YouTube videos. But I was posting content on a different platform, and there was this 30-year-old man who was in my comments saying slurs and all this stuff towards me. He was going through all of my videos, just like slurring it up. And I remember, it was like 12 a.m. I was in the middle of doing an English paper. And I was all like, this is sad. This is so sad. Fortunately, he wasn't hitting on anything that I was insecure about. He was just saying about a whole bunch of like anti-black stuff, a whole bunch of like homophobic stuff. I was all like, bitch, you're not going to make me feel insecure about being black. And you're not going to make... First of all, I'm not even gay! I'm not even gay! Like, you're just not gonna make me feel insecure about those two things, though. It's not gonna, especially a 30-year-old nigga. Bruh, if you don't get your no, I'm playing. I love my 30-year-olds. Listen, I love my 30-year-olds, bro. What are we talking about? Like, nigga he was up in my, he was up in my, besides like the slurs and stuff, he was up in my, you're Gen Z trash. I bet you don't even know what Vine is. You're only on TikTok. First of all, at that point, I had never even used TikTok. Bitch, Vine, how young do you think I am? You stupid, do you not know basic maths? I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent, but sometimes I listen to people who, and I'm sorry, this goes for like, I am kind of low-key shitting on like 30-year-olds, but like, it's all like, you ever hear like 30-plus-year-olds talk about something, and they're all like, Gen Z will never know how this is. I'm like, you stupid fuck. We were there. Do you not know how math, you are barely 10 years older than me. Who do you think the kids were next to you? Who do you think were in those fucking lobbies, you dumbass? Who do you think were the ones making those cringy Vine, you dumb, that was us! What are you talking about? I'm sorry. Shout out to my 30-year-olds. Shout out to my 30s. Some of y'all pissed me the fuck off. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, it was just like I realized that I as a person have a very weak sense of self. And if somebody were to start talking smack about certain things about me, like in the comments or whatever, I knew it would shake my foundation because I didn't have one to begin with. And now I just realize that the foundation I need needs to be created with my own material, not material given to me by somebody else. Because I have to be my biggest fan. I have to be my biggest supporter. I have to be there for me always, because I am the only constant thing that will ever be there for the rest of my life. Yeah, I don't exactly know where else to go with this video. I might be in the comments on my videos, man. I might be able to look at the comments now. I'm not saying I'm gonna do that shit now, but I'm all like, I think I love myself. No, I know I love myself. Yeah, it's been Eve, Evelyn, Justice, and I'll see you a lot later. Peace. Take care of yourselves. If you don't, who else will? Peace.